At David Security here, once again providing security insights and analysis on security news. My goal is to empower you with security awareness in under 5 minutes. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. Today we're talking about shelter in place. It's a term that I'm sure you've heard a lot these days, shelter in place. Well, Wired Magazine has a good article on this. Not only does it provide good insights and tips for people that are affected by a shelter-in-place order, but it also has a state-by-state breakdown of the different requirements and the different orders in different states. So if we go through this article here, first of all, it lays down the groundwork, letting us know about shelter-in-place orders. Now, a shelter-in-place order are traditionally used by local officials during or immediately after an emergency, like a mass shooting, chemical spill, or natural disaster. However, in recent weeks, state and local officials have retooled the measure to help limit the spread of, guess what? You know what it is. So mainly they have done this by mandating residents stay in their homes and limit travel to essential trips. You've heard it all over the place. So again, shelter in place is a term that's used during mass shootings or natural disasters and things like that nature, but because of the scope and the unpredictability of this current crisis, shelter-in-place orders are becoming more and more common in different states. So shelter-in-place orders generally close all non-essential businesses and prohibit their employees from leaving their homes to work. Though the definition of essential businesses can vary depending on the specific state. So one of the news pieces you've been seeing a lot, I'm sure, is states that have shelter-in-place orders, yet they have people outside in mass numbers in parks and so forth. And there's a reason for that, because these orders are more of a recommendation. However, some states are enforcing it stronger than others. So once again, if you go through this list here, you'll see how, for example, Alabama is what kind of order they have in place. They have, for example, on March 22nd, residents of the two cities should only leave. There's two cities that have been highlighted with shelter-in-place orders there. So residents of those two cities should only leave their homes for essential activities and so forth. So you have states like Alabama, and the wording, the direction, and so forth it's limited to a paragraph. Now, we know that Alabama is one of the last states to get cases, so that might be a reason why their shelter-in-place order is not as stringent as other states. And then you have other states, such as California, that has a more extensive shelter-in-place guidelines here. So on March 19th, the governor ordered all 40 million Californians to shelter in place until further notice. The order came after 11 Californian counties and cities had issued local shelter-in-place orders over the previous week in an attempt to contain the spreading of the virus. So California's is pretty extensive, so is New York, but you can actually look through each state, which I find very helpful, and look at the order, how it affects that particular state. So very helpful, obviously, if you live in that particular state or if you're planning on somehow or another commuting to those states and so forth. So obviously the situation is constantly updating, that we're getting constant updates all the time. Another good thing about this article is that it has links, live links to updates and so forth. And then it goes to a frequently asked FAQ kind of thing, frequently asked question, which I find very helpful. So for example, I'm under a shelter-in-place order. Can I go to the hair or nail salon? Well, the answer is no. These businesses are or should be closed. Can I do my laundry? In most places, yes. Can I walk the dog? Yep, so long as you stay at least 6 feet. And please, pick up your dog poop, folks. I see it all the time around my neighborhood. Just because we are in shelter in place doesn't mean you shouldn't pick up your dog poop. Sorry, I just had to add that in there. So, very helpful article here. I hope you guys can check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know how the lockdown or the shelter in place is going on in your state. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to research it for you. And we are still monitoring the situation, sharing updates, Let me know what you're thinking, where you're at, and how things are going your way. So at Davey Security here with your security insight of the day, and we're out.